So when they text you again, when they all of a sudden show up, when they hoover, when they try to come back, you get your fix. Especially, I mean, just talking to them, you'll get your fix. Just replying to the text, you get your fix. But of course, you meet up with them and back in the bedroom it is, you got your fix and all your problems went away. That's it. You're back on the top of the cycle, of the trauma bond cycle. And now it may seem like you're in control because now you're setting boundaries. Now you're telling them this is how it's going to be from now on. You're not allowed to do this and you can't be on your phone past this time and you got to show me all the texts, and you start setting all these rules and they're just, they're going with it. Little do you know that the narcissist is actually in control. Even at that very moment where you feel like you're the king or queen and you're back on that pedestal, the narcissist is in control. The abuser is in control. The drug is in control. Didn't see you there. How's everyone doing? Welcome to Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kira. Today I'm taking a question that was sent to me via email with a special request to dive deep into the question, answer the question, give my opinion, my feedback, and leave the person anonymous. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the question. I think this is something that will apply to everyone in this community, especially if you're watching during the holidays, right before Christmas. So let's just dive right in, shall we? So this one says, what happens if you discard the narcissist / leave the relationship in the middle of being love bombed? Is it possible at all, or are the levels of toxins too high, the bond, the addiction too strong for anyone to be able to leave or cut the bond with the narcissist in the middle of being love bombed? Parentheses, talking about people in the relationship who are fully aware of the fact their partner is a narcissist, and if they don't leave, next will be the devalue and discard. Okay, so thanks for sending that in. There's lots of ways to answer that question, so I'm going to do my best to tackle as many different points of views as I can. First of all, let's just be clear when you say that you're aware, fully aware that your partner is a narcissist. Are you talking about a diagnosed narcissist? Is your partner in treatment, or are they working with a therapist? Have they been diagnosed? Not like it matters to me. Not like if it should matter to anybody if you're being abused and psychologically tortured by your partner. But I'm just curious when you say that you're fully aware of the fact. Okay, that's number one. Now, as far as being able to leave a relationship in the middle of being love bombed. Okay, so just for 1 second, let's just imagine you're dating somebody and you don't know if they're a narcissist or whatnot, but you feel that you're getting so much attention and the gifts and the over-the-top courtship from, it could be a woman, it could be a man, it doesn't matter. You're overwhelmed with what seems too good to be true. Anybody that's being quote-unquote love bombed, anybody that's being flooded with attention and gifts and all this lovey-dovey stuff that just comes all at once. I mean, it's almost like a drug. You're gonna get a jolt of that, and you're gonna feel high. You're gonna feel amazing. And for most people that haven't been through a narcissistic, abusive relationship or dealt with maybe an NPD, a borderline, or psychopath, or anyone in the spectrum of antisocial personality disorders. For people that haven't experienced that, they might feel like they met their true soulmate. They might feel like, wow, I finally I met someone that appreciates me, that loves me, they're super attracted to me, they're attentive, they pay attention to details, they buy me gifts, they make sure I'm taken care of, they're always calling me, they're always texting me first thing in the morning, last thing at night, etc., etc., etc. And then what happens, as you know, as that entanglement develops, then if they are narcissistic or whatever, and you experience a devalue, you go through those stages, they start grooming somebody else, you start suspecting that they're cheating on you, they start treating you bad, all those love bombing things, the gifts, the attention, the I love yous, the texts, the constant calls, obviously the intimacy, all that starts to get withheld and taken away until you're ultimately thrown away, discarded, dumped, whatever. That's usually how it goes. So for anybody to walk away from a situation, from the dating experience, to walk away when things are good is highly unlikely. Because why would anybody walk away from something that just feels great, right? You don't see red flags. Instead, you're being flooded with good emotions, really. But I would imagine, since you're watching a lot of the videos here, that you've already, you're familiar with narcissism. Like I said, you are aware of the fact that they are narcissists. So, you know, if you're being love bombed now, I'm gonna go ahead and assume, and we should never assume because you make an ass out of a bunch of people, you and me, I don't know, something like that. But, you know, remember, the narcissist will re-idealize you after they've already discarded you, after they've already cheated. They re-idealize it, they try to get back in, and they start the love bomb process all over again. It's never as good as it was at the beginning in most cases, but you certainly feel that you're being treated like a king or a queen, and you're back on that pedestal. And as you know, when you're in a trauma bond, there's like a cycle that you experience. You know, you were on that pedestal at the beginning, and as the relationship started to deteriorate, you started falling down, and they were on the top. They were in control, totally in control, devaluing you, and you felt that you were being, at this point, you were chasing breadcrumbs. You were chasing for any type of attention, any type of a sign that showed you that the narcissist loved you, or even cares about you, or is still attracted to you and still wants to work on the relationship, right? And as that cycle continues, you're at the end, you're basically at the end of the rope, and you're desperate, and they'll ghost you and they'll throw you away, and you just can't move on because you need that fix. You need them like a drug, and the only one that can make you feel better is the person that put you there in the first place. So when they text you again, when they all of a sudden show up, when they hoover, when they try to come back, you get your fix. Especially, I mean, just talking to them, you'll get your fix. Just replying to the text, you get your fix. But of course, you meet up with them, and back in the bedroom it is, you got your fix, and all your problems went away. That's it. You're back on the top of the cycle, of the trauma bond cycle. And now, it may seem like you're in control because now you're setting boundaries. Now you're telling them, this is how it's going to be from now on. You're not allowed to do this, and you can't be on your phone past this time, and you got to show me all the texts, and you start setting all these rules, and they're just, you know, they're going with it. You know, little do you know that the narcissist is actually in control. Even at that very moment where you feel like you're the king or queen and you're back on that pedestal, the narcissist is in control. The abuser is in control. The drug is in control. Okay? The drug is in control. That person that you are addicted to is in control of your actions and your emotions. And you're being manipulated, you're being gaslit, you're being misled. Sometimes you gaslight yourself. You know that it's bad to go back. You know that this person is abusive. You know what this person has done time and time again, but you gaslight yourself into thinking that maybe this time is going to be different because you just got your fix. Talk to any drug addict or alcoholic and they will tell you the same thing. You get your fix and you dilute yourself and you ignore things that you already know. You tune them out. You shut those voices in your head. You convince yourself. You make up excuses. You justify your actions to continue using. In the case of a toxic relationship, you're still using. It's a drug. You're still using. And even though it's destroying you, and even though it has destroyed you, you can't live without it because you have an addiction. You are trauma bonded. So if you're narcissist, if your abuser, if your toxic ex is all of a sudden love bombing you again, especially now during the holidays, especially now right before Christmas, and you have that urge of responding, of just somehow meeting up just one last time, gotta, New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions, I repeated that because I said it wrong. New Year's resolutions. And you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get this one out of my system, okay. You're gonna trip on yourself and land on the dick, right? Because you're not gonna do it again next year because you made a vow, you made a commitment, you made a resolution. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. You know where that road ends. It's just like a drug addiction. So can it be possible? It's interesting when you say, can it be possible to leave or to walk away mid-love bombed? Of course it's possible. It's just not easy because it feels good, right? It's not easy because it feels good. If someone served you a platter of brown butter chocolate chip cookies, which are my favorite, it's like, damn, it's hard to say no, right? And you know what it's gonna do to you. You know what it's gonna do, but man, those cookies sure look good. And then you forget how you felt when you ate the box, right? You forget how you felt when you ate the entire box and your eyes were sparkling. And you stepped on that scale or you looked in the mirror and you're like, what have I done? It's gonna take like 3 weeks of intense cardio to burn off all this crap and get back to where I was before I ate that box, right? But you still do it. But you still do it. It's not easy. So how do you mitigate that? How do you mitigate it? You don't bring the cookies back into your house. You don't bring the narcissist back into your house. You don't go to their house. You don't meet up with them. You don't contact them. Yes, you have to walk away. You have to walk away from the liquor store. You have to walk away from the dessert department, from the bakery department in the supermarket. You have to walk away. I don't care how you feel when you walk away. You just got to walk away. This is a long-term thing. We're playing the long game here, not the short-term. Fuck your short-term emotions. Fuck them. This is long-term. Do you want to feel good long-term? Do you want your life to be better long-term? Or are you such an addict that you're chasing that quick fix, that short-term boost, that you just want it now? You want to feel good now, now, now. And then when it's over, you're like, what have I done? And then you're buried 10 feet deep because you did it to yourself at that point. You knew better and you still did it. It's like when I always say the narcissist is the psychopath. They knew what they were doing. They knew that they were cheating. They knew they were betraying you. They knew that that was a deal breaker. They knew what it was doing to you and how you were feeling and how you were going to feel. They knew it was going to destroy the relationship. They knew it was cruel. They did it anyway, didn't they? They did it anyway. You know, it's like you said at the end of your question. You're aware of the fact that your partner is narcissist. And you know that if you don't leave the next step, The next phase will be the devalue and discard. Sounds like you've been through this before. Sounds like you've been through this before, and you're binging the videos now because they resonate with you. So if it's resonating with you, if you've been through this before, and you know that's what's coming left, well, damn right you got to leave it. Damn right you got to walk away. Can you? Yes, you can, but it's not going to be easy. See? It's simple, but it's not easy. It's not going to feel good. Your brain is going to ask you, like, what the heck are you doing? Like, he just gave me a diamond ring. He's taking me to Tahoe. He's taking me to Hawaii. We're traveling around the world. He's taking me on helicopter rides. He bought me this, he bought me that. Or if it's a girl, you know. And oh, she's cooking for me. She came over and she cooked for me. Like, you should have seen the meal that she did. She slaved over that oven and topless. And I was just there feeling like a king. That's love, right? That's love. No, that might be over-the-top love bombing, temporary, to ensure she locks you in again. And then she's going to go away right into the arms of the other supply that she's also playing behind your back. You know? So, if you feel those toxins, right? Like I said, the toxins in the bond and the addiction is too strong, and you know you got a problem. You know that that person is toxic for you. You know that that person is not supposed to be in your life. If you're aware, if you're concerned that those toxins are so high and you're feeling that urge and you just can't resist, and you're like scratching yourself all over at the urge of just texting them and just calling them back, or taking that call, or just taking them up on that offer, sleeping with them one more time, just one more kiss. That's a problem. That's when you really have to step back and say, hey, wait a second, this is not normal, this is not healthy. It's like making impulsive purchases online, and it feels good, and you're just waiting to click that, not the add to cart button, you already did that. Not the checkout button, because you already did that, but the finalize order. And you're looking at that, and you're looking at the grand total, and your heart palpitations. You have to resist from pressing that button and back up and say, hey, wait a second, is this an irrational decision? Is this impulsive? Am I being emotional here? Do I even need this 8K television after I have two 4K TVs already hanging on my living room wall? Do I really need whatever it is you have in your checkout box, in your cart? And back up and say, you know what, let's see how I feel about this tomorrow. And wait one day. Wait one day and see how you feel tomorrow. Shit, sometimes just a few hours later, you're like, what the heck was I thinking? Start reading some reviews, even though most of them are fake. Start reading some reviews, and you're gonna be like, well, damn, this sounded too good to be true, and it is too good to be true. And then you'll read, and people send you pictures, and it was garbage, right? So take a step back if you're feeling that intense, over-the-top love bombing that just, it feels uncanny. It's like, why are you doing all this now? Why are you doing all this now? It just, it feels a little desperate. It feels a little manipulative. There's something off about it. I don't deserve all this. And take a step back and be like, hold on a second. I'm gonna delay my urge, right? I'm gonna delay contacting them. I'm gonna delay my reply. I'm gonna see how I feel a little bit later today. And then you go out and you do something. You go hang out with friends. You go to the gym. You take a shower. You eat something healthy. Don't go eating those cookies. Save those for me. Go do something. Anything almost anything. But go do something. Do not stay there in bed or on your couch ruminating and writing the pros and cons list, even though that's an important thing to do as well. But at that moment, that's not the time, because your brain is compromised and you're probably going to list mostly pros, and you're gonna gaslight yourself into thinking that there aren't any cons. That's not the time for a pros and cons list, because you're not really being rational at that time. But I always say, if you are already watching these types of videos, if you are sending questions like this, then you know you got a problem. I don't care if there's a diagnosis behind the narcissistic disorder or psychopathy. It doesn't matter if there's a diagnosis. Those are red flags. If you feel that you are addicted to somebody that's abusive, if you know, if people are telling you, then you got a problem. You gotta admit. That's the first step, right? You gotta admit that you got a problem and that you're powerless over this toxic person. That's the first thing. But by all means, you can't keep drinking the poison. You got to stop the bleeding. So yeah, it is possible to walk away during the intense love bomb. It's just not going to be easy. Can you handle that? Can you take that leap of faith? Can you take that leap of faith and say, hey, you know what? I don't want any of this. I don't want any of those gifts. I don't need that attention. I don't need that lust. I don't need any of it. And just walk away. Can you do that? Let me know. Let me know if you can. If you need help, I have a coaching program, private one-on-one coaching program over Zoom. We can talk about this in great detail. I'd love to work with you guys, help you out of this nightmare, help you think rationally and clearly. Because things like this, especially during the holidays, they'll warp your mind, let me tell you. They warp your mind. All right, so thanks for sending that in. I hope I was clear in my feedback. I hope it was helpful. And, well, hope you guys are having an amazing day. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Till then, my name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. As usual, I will see you guys next time. Be good. Peace.